What's up, everybody, on this New Year's Eve? Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Um, got a great show for you guys. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight, chatting it up. Got Hugh Douglas already sitting in backstage, waiting on Ike Reese and Mike Quick to check in. Once they check in, we're just going to go full bore tonight and just chop it up. A couple of old heads. Thank you guys, for your support, throughout the season, for the likes, for the comments, for the follows and turning on those notifications every time we got something going on with the show. Not only this show, but, if you missed my TV shows right here on the YouTube channel, you can watch them each and every week, probably about Thursday or Friday. And then obviously, our pre and post game show on Sundays. Are right here live on YouTube as well. Because I was home for the holidays last week, there were some things about the Washington game that I wanted to break down. I was talking a lot about Jalen Hurts and how important he is to the offense and really how important he is to the run game. And because, I wasn't in studio last week, I didn't have, my whiteboard to break things down for you guys exactly what I was talking about. So that's what I want to do tonight right quick before I bring the guys on. Got Ike backstage just waiting on Mike Quick. So let's do this right quick. This is the reason why, in my opinion, Jalen Hurts is so important to this offense. Saquon Barkley is, the engine that makes it go. Obviously A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are major parts of this offense. But what really makes it fly and what really makes it go across the board is Jalen Hurts' presence in the offense. So let's go to the whiteboard. I just want to break this down for you guys right quick, okay? So can you click me over?
Yeah, you should be on.
I still see me. I don't see the whiteboard yet.
Oh, I got you. You can just take over the mouse for a second.
There we go. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. So let me get all of these pieces in here, give you a couple of different looks. Let's go with our end, the cornerback. Give us a 3 technique here, tackle, end, slot corner, cornerback, quarterback, and then your safeties. And of course, your linebackers. Okay, so this is the dilemma that defenses, find themselves in, and why Washington was so successful in shutting down the run after Jalen went out of the game. So this is your strong safety here, your free safety here. Okay, so they started just loading the box. I mean, walking the safety down, and obviously, you got 6 on 6, but now you're 7 on 7. And sometimes when the Eagles condense their formations, I got it wide just because I want you guys to see how this RPO and all that stuff actually works. But when they condense the formations, then they bring this slot corner closer to the formation. When they move this guy closer to the formation, they cut their splits down. Same with this guy, same with this guy, okay? So you guys notice a lot of times you'll see the Eagles in these real tight formations, and they like to run out of these formations, okay? But the more guys you get closer to the box, the more free hitters you got that's going to get involved in the run game. But this is the guy right here that we're going to option off of, okay? And for now, I'm just going to cross him out and put Saquon over here, all right? So we're going to block it a myriad of different ways. So on the front side, okay, we're going to go here, work up to the linebacker, okay? We're going to double team here, okay, work up to the linebacker and cut him off. And here, he's just going to run to just cut off this backside right here. Now, this is without the safety in the mix. So right now, you got a 6-man box, all right? So when Jalen runs the RPO, he's reading this guy on the end of the line of scrimmage right here. If this guy steps and stays, he's going to hand the ball off to Saquon, and you guys can look. he's got this window and he's got this window if he so desires it. Because that guy just, there's no way for this defensive end to react, okay? Now, if for some reason or another this defensive end crashes, okay, Jalen Hurts has the option of pulling this ball, okay? He's going to tackle here. The linebacker is going to try to work across here, but Jalen's just going to take the ball and come outside. Now he's one-on-one with the free safety right here, okay? So this is what really makes it work, because now, even though they got a six-man box, they're really only playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against the run, because this guy is held in limbo. So all of a sudden, when Kenny Pickett came into the game, they were doing this all game long because they know that Kenny ain't going to pull the ball and take off with it, okay? That's what the problem was against the Washington Commanders and their inability to be able to run the ball in the second half. I think Saquon had like 27 yards on like 19 carries. I think he averaged something like 1.6 yards per carry. This is why I'm telling you it's so important, for Jalen Hurts to be a part of everything that goes on. Now, when they drop the safety down in the box, okay, we go all the way back. They drop the safety down in the box, okay? Now you get the extra guy, and the way that they block it is going to have to be just a little bit different, okay? So they move the linebackers over a little bit, drop the safety down in the box, okay? So let's do it this way, okay? Let's take the tight end in motion, okay, which now has him blocking out on the end, all right? And they're going to option off of the end on this side, even though they got the extra guy in the box, okay? So when they do that, okay, he's going to step, all right? This guy now is just going to cut the tackle off. You're going to play here. He's going to play up to the linebacker, okay? He's going to play here, and now you got this tackle picking up the linebacker, okay? What happened? I just shrunk again, okay? So when they go read option, okay, Jalen's reading a couple of different things here, okay? He's reading the linebacker. If the linebacker steps up, okay, he can pull that ball and hit A.J. Brown on a slant right here, okay? If this defensive end crashes, he can pull the ball and take off around the end, okay? If that end stops right there, he can hand the ball off to Saquon, and look, you can see across the board, you got man on blocking all the way across the board. So Saquon can take that ball in the middle, and he could hit it here, he could hit it here, or he can cut that ball back wherever he wants to. See, this is the power of having number one in the game right here, okay? And when you don't have that, a lot of things that they want to do in the run game does not work, okay? It doesn't work. But it also opens up everything else on the RPO side. They can just call an RPO without even, having the run piece to it. Hey, we're gonna fake here, okay? We don't even want Jalen to run the ball. We're gonna fake here. Linebacker steps up. We know that we can hit behind it, especially if they stay in too high safety, okay? They get too high safety. There's a big window there, okay? It's a different ball of wax when this guy gets down in the box, okay? So there's a lot of different things that, that we don't see about the viability of Jalen Hurts and when he's actually in the game. And that's why I said 2 weeks ago, he probably is the most important part of the offense when you really stop and think about it, because the fact that he can pull the ball and run, the fact that he can pull the ball and throw it, makes him a vital piece of what this offense is trying to do. And when you're missing him, even though they had a good week last week, when you're missing him, you're missing a vital part of the offense and a big part of, what really makes the offense go. All right, enough of that. Let's bring in the guys, because there's a hell of a lot to talk about and a hell of a lot to chop up. All right, so now we got the boys, Hugh Douglas, Ike Reese, click in Mike Quick. Boy, we're going to have fun tonight, man. So let me say this, guys. The 6,000-pound elephant in the room is right now Saquon Barkley, and should he be allowed to chase this should he be allowed to chase this record? Um, I'm gonna give you, my point of view, which y'all probably already know, and then, one by one, you guys can, kind of tell my viewers what it is that, what you guys think. Because I think at the end of the day, football players play football. They want to play football. And when you got a record that's 40 years old and you have the ability to go and take that record down, I don't know too many guys that wouldn't want to do that. I got a lot of respect for Saquon to say that, whatever it is the coaches wants, he's going to be a team player. I get it. But there's a lot of his teammates that are talking about, hey, we want to go get this. There's a couple that's saying, hey, we need to rest. But my thing is, when do we get to this place in football where we only got 16 to 17 games a year that all of a sudden we start talking about, we need rest. We need to heal up. I mean, we got 17 weeks to do it, 16 weeks back in our day, and then you got 35 weeks to do whatever you got to do to get ready for the next year. I wanted to play every down. And some of these guys, they don't do anything in practice. They don't do anything in training camp, And, if with the exception of probably the quarterback and the offensive line and maybe the linebackers, they only play 50 to 65% of the plays any damn way. So what kind of rest are we talking about? I get the injury thing, but that to me is just a weak-minded way of thinking because I've never gone into a game worrying about getting injured or getting hurt. You just go play. If something happens, it happens. You can't prevent it. There's nothing that they can do to prevent it because you can hold Saquon out this week, you can hold Jalen out this week, and they can be the first series, both of them could be hurt and be out of the first playoff game, okay? So I'm not sure that I understand where we are in this mentality of where we're at right now. And everybody, especially people who never put on a pair of shoulder pads or pull a jock strap up, got a goddamn opinion about it. That's what really bothers me about it. All right. So I know that Hugh Douglas is the is.
Let's go. Let's get it started.
I know that Hugh Douglas is the most outspoken one of the bunch. So I'm gonna give him the first crack at it.
See, wait a minute, but Seth, when you hit me with the you ain't never put on a shoulder pad, I was always told by somebody on this esteemed panel that I can't never use that. I can't just shit on people like that. You know what I mean?
Hey, Hugh,
Yes, you can.
you're in a completely different form tonight.
But
Okay?
Seth, I was always told I can't shit on people like that, man. So I try not to do it. I try not to do it. But I look at it like this, man. This is the fact that it stood for 40 years. That's the significance of this. And that's what makes this so hard because I am in that camp. When you talk about chasing Super Bowl rings and speaking as a guy who does not have one, I understand that. I wholeheartedly understand that. But on the flip side of this is a unique situation. This ain't no 15 sack year. This ain't no 22 sack year. This is something that has stood for 40 years. And especially in a league now where, we talk about the dinosaurification. I just made that word up, y'all. The dinosaurification of the running back position. They're fossils now. They're not getting the respect that they're due. So much as of 2 or 3 years ago, we were talking about running backs not getting their money and being devalued. And now to have Saquon Barkley come to Philadelphia in his first season to do this is tough. And he's 101 yards away from breaking a record. I mean, I get that, there's bigger fish to fry, but it's something about that 40-year record, man. And the fact that Ed Dickerson, with all due respect, talking shit. Like he talking shit, and it's like, dog, respect the game. You know what he's starting to be since we on this format?
God.
You already know where I'm going, I hear with all due respect, NBA players complain about the era that they played in and how much money players are making now. That's kind of what Eric Dickerson sounds like to me, talking about this record. Records are made to be broken, man. And for it to stand for 40 years, that's an accomplishment within itself. And to have somebody like Saquon Barkley to come out of nowhere, because let's be honest, y'all, we didn't know we were going to get this Saquon Barkley. We knew we were getting a good player, and we knew what his resume showed us. But we didn't know we were getting this. We didn't know we were getting all of this.
True.
Yeah. All right. So you up next because Mike is the mild-mannered one of the bunch. Last night I watched Dan Campbell take his team into San Francisco, and
Yeah.
before he
Now,
even
boy,
got there, he said, "We are going to win this game.
That's right.
We ain't holding anybody back. We ain't holding nothing back. We're not putting anything on the line for Week
Yeah.
18. We're going to win this game." And they went out and they balled, and took that game away from San Francisco in the end, when it really mattered the most. He's old school in his approach. I didn't like him when he first came in the league, biting kneecaps and all that kind of stuff. But then I grew a newfound respect for him when I seen his interaction with his players last year. I
Yeah.
saw a video where he
Yeah.
said, listen. I mean, he was almost in tears. He was like, "We
Yeah.
got to do this. We got to hit. We got to tackle in training camp. We got to practice physicality." He's like,
Yeah.
"Some of you guys are gonna look at me like I'm crazy, but trust me, I'll take care of you. I
Yep.
will take care of you." And
That's
now
what he said.
look where they've ascended to in the last 2 years, because that was their mentality.
Yeah.
So where is that mentality with the rest of the league? I mean, even Big Red, like, implements some of that, because they don't have none of those country club training camps.
No.
Patrick
No.
Mahomes plays in the preseason.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what the hell's happening to our game, man?
Well, I think when you allow the sports science aspect of the game, there's so many different people who have a voice in this matter nowadays. It's not just the coach, right? Like, so, you got your doctors, you got your trainers, you got all these people that have all this data that supports rest and I don't know, lack of activity to secure good health. Here's what it is basically. They prioritize health over, I think, what it takes to play football, to get better at the game week in and week out, to where you got to have these calluses on your arms, your shoulders, your knees. Now, you got to be smart with it, but at the same time, the best way to get prepared to play football is playing football. It's not doing anything else. So, Hugh said a lot of stuff that I agree with when it comes to this. I mean, I just look at it this way, guys. Forget about the football player. I was a fan before I was a football player. And I said this yesterday. As a football fan, I watch games, sporting events, to see things I may never see again. And, you may get that one game where something happens where Saquon Barkley hurdles over someone backwards. That's why it's so great to be a fan of sports, because these guys are such great athletes, and I still admire what they can do, that I want to watch these guys do special things that I may not see someone else do. So to get the rushing record, something that's 40 years old, this generation of football fan can gain a newfound respect for this position. Like, we know the importance of the running back position and how you built franchises around running backs and how they were the driving force. I grew up on that. That's a lost art and respect for that position.
yeah.
And I think this year, these guys have brought back that love and joy for watching that position. And the number one guy that's done that is our guy, Saquon Barkley. And let's face it, we're all Eagles. Three of us played somewhere else. Mike played here his entire career. We played somewhere else. But we're Eagles. I want to see Saquon Barkley get this record in an Eagles uniform so that our organization has the all-time leading rusher in NFL history. I mean, I'm a fan of the Eagles. So I want to see anything that represents the Eagles being on top. I want to see us in that light. And to me, Saquon Barkley is one of the 5 top stories of the NFL this year.
Yeah.
And so breaking that rushing record, to me, it would be the top story Sunday. It would be the number one story Sunday. Forget about Detroit playing Minnesota for the number 1 seed and all that. No, breaking the all-time rushing record would be the number 1 story of the weekend. And it would put our organization in the limelight. I mean, man, listen, this for 3 days. I've been pleading to the Eagles. I hope they're listening. I want them to know how important this is, man, so we can do this Sunday. Because you all know, if they play, just give them a half. He's breaking that record.
So I'm going to come back in a second, Ike, because I think you made a significant point about how the running back position has been devalued. But I want to give Quick an opportunity to just talk about his thoughts. And out of the three of us, if there's anybody that know whether he's going to play or not, that guy down there in the lower left corner, he know. But I ain't going to put him on the spot to divulge it on my show.
Listen. I don't know any more than you three know. And especially Ike. Ike seems to be tuned into everything. I'll tell you this.
You see how he passed the ball? Look how he passed it right over.
Yeah. So when Ike first started talking, I think he hit on the most important point, or the point that's going to be the determiner. So there's so many people involved in the decision making now. So if you go back to my generation, Dick Vermeil was the head coach. Dick Vermeil was going to make that determination. Who was going to play in this game? So if it's our generation and Dick Vermeil head coach, he will determine what's going to happen. But now you have so many people. You have sports science. You have GM. You have doctors. You have all of these people now that they factor in. And some of them sometimes way more than the coach himself. When they factor in what they have to say, will weigh more. Many times, doctors are going to say something that has more weight than even the head coach. Sometimes the GM has more weight. Sometimes, you have so many people involved now. Would I like to see Saquon break the record? Absolutely. And I think he could do it in a half of football on Sunday against that team that they're playing against. But if I'm king for that day, I don't think I put him out there to play. And it's all because what you really come into the season to do is to win the Super Bowl. And so if I put Saquon out there, and yeah, you can get hurt in it. You can get hurt stepping off the sidewalk. But I think the chances of you getting hurt in a game, and in that game that really you don't change your position for the postseason, I don't think I make that. If I'm king, I don't think I make that move. I think I play guys that are backup guys. I think you got enough there that can even beat the Giants, regardless of who they play. And I don't risk my starting quarterback. I don't risk my offensive line. I don't risk the guy who I think made a bigger difference than any other free agent in all of football this year, Saquon Barkley. And I think having all these guys intact and with the week's rest going into the postseason, I think that means a whole lot. The toll that the season takes on your body. Nobody is healthy right now. But to have an extra week to just chill, get in the cold tub, get all these treatments and all this, the way they take all this 10-11 care that they put on these players nowadays, I think that could mean a whole lot going into the final stretch. I do. So if I'm king, he doesn't play.
Bro, can we have the best of both worlds, man? We greedy. We greedy in Philadelphia, man.
Play like a preseason game and let him play a quarter, and then you make the assessment from there.
Okay, so I want to go back, start with Hugh. I want to go back and touch on what Ike talked about. For years, the running back position has been devalued. I mean, massively devalued. And all of a sudden, Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry has flipped that on his head this year. And more teams are running the football this year than they have in probably the last 5 to 10 years.
Yes.
Is it a potential in the back of your minds to believe that they don't want to see Saquon Barkley break this record because of the attention that it draws to the running back position and how it translates? And wait a minute, come on. I mean, listen, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm throwing it out there, and y'all can do what y'all can do with it what you want to, because now all of a sudden, now that market begins to grow again if that running back position is now an important position, and now you got to earmark some more dollars. Because I think if you look at a percentage of performance, there's not a guy that performed more or is a greater part of this offense this year than Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
And how that translates to that running back position and how we see it or how the league sees it now.
Yeah, good point.
Oh, y'all waiting for me to go?
If you're not ready, I'll go.
No, because I'm pondering what you're saying because I'm looking at it and I feel like part of the reason why the running back has come back into vogue now is because you remember early in the season when everybody was talking about two high safeties and they took away the big plays and how early, like before that, receivers were making all these big plays, these deep ball throws and everything like that. I feel like it's gone back to the mean because everybody's trying to look for the big play. So the big play isn't there anymore. So you have a couple teams now that realize that, and we're kind of ahead of the curve a little bit. You talk about the Detroit Lions when they went out and got Jahmyr Gibbs and already had a running back. They went to the 2 running back team. And then you talk about Derrick Henry down there in Baltimore. And I know it's a couple other backs, but these are the ones that I'm just thinking about right off the top of my head.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so that is to combat the fact that, and then look at the defenses now. Look at the defense you played with, Seth. You had 300-pounders in the middle. We have the luxury as the Eagles to have bigger D tackles, but look across the board. You got smaller linemen. You got Bryce Huff, who was in New York with the Jets, who got paid here because he could get after the quarterback. Now you got these big-ass running backs. Dude, you know what the thing that I didn't realize? Saquon Barkley about 240 pounds and moves the way that he moves.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, man. And you look at all these other running backs, they're like Christian McCaffrey, 230, 220, something like that? You got this big-ass grown man. Hell, it makes sense to run the football with those kind of guys. Derrick Henry, it just makes sense because the defenses nowadays they've been so conditioned to get after the pass. It just feels like it's just easy to go back to running the football. And then I even put the young running back that's playing tonight from Boise State in that category. I put Bijan Robinson in that category. You got these running back nowadays, man. Shit, they bigger than the defensive linemen now. So that's why it feels like it's starting to come back into vogue.
Well, they're not just. I mean, they're also great athletes.
Like yeah, that too.
They're fast. They can catch the ball out of the backfield. And let's face it. I'm not saying our situation is this, but the quarterbacks aren't as good as a lot of these teams hope they would be when you draft them.
Speak on it.
And so, everybody doesn't have Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson as their quarterback. So you may want that guy as your quarterback, but sometimes these running backs as athletes are just better overall athletes, and it serves you better to put the ball in their hands, and it makes it easier for your offense, right? Like, so unless you want to be one of these teams that throw the ball 40 times a game, having a ball controlled offense, being in a down and distance that's manageable, and getting the ball in the hands of your playmakers, that's the best way to win football games nowadays. I mean, just because you pay a guy X amount of money because he plays that position doesn't mean everybody has that ability to just rise to carry every other player on the team. So I look at our situation, I'm like, Howie Roseman and realize, man, we can go out and add a special player like Saquon Barkley. He's going to make everybody's job easier. Just, by handing him the football, he's going to make everybody's job easier. So I think that's what teams are realizing as well. Lamar Jackson has been a fantastic player, but you got that monster in the backfield you got to worry about. So that's going to make Lamar Jackson's job a lot easier. And look at what Lamar Jackson is doing this year.
So what has happened? What has happened in the National Football League over the past few years is that we've gone to this fast break style of football where you got all these sub packages. It's all 11 personnel or 3 wide receivers, sometimes 4 wide receivers, a lot of empty sets. And so when you have that, and when you're scoring a lot of points because you play this fast break style, then you can't have those 250-pound linebackers. You got to have these guys who are they're multi-position type of players that can play dual position. I can be a safety, but I can also be a linebacker. I can do this, but I can also do that. Ike in this era would have been perfect. Ike was a small dude trying to play linebacker, and he could run. So this would be the perfect kind. But I think when you start to look at what's happening in Baltimore with that running back, what's happening with Gibbs, Bijan Robinson that you mentioned earlier, Saquon, I think when you start to have guys like that and they start to be – when you get to the end of the season and that style of play, that type of play is kind of the dominant play, then the running back becomes more valuable. Then you're going to see more guys getting their bags that play the running back position, and you'll see things start to change a little bit more. But it's been fast break football. But now that you're seeing bigger backs and they're starting to dominate games, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit more of what we're starting to see, where the running game becomes the lead rather than the passing game.
I'm going to tell you this. There are two quarterbacks in this league that thrive without a running game. That's Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. They're the only two quarterbacks that thrive without a running game.
That's right.
You look at every other quarterback in this league and look at the running game they have. Look at the top running backs in this league and the quarterback that they're paired with. And look how they play, whether it's Jordan Love, whether it was Brock Purdy when McCaffrey was healthy. Look what Brock Purdy did last year. Jared Goff with the backs he has out there in Detroit.
That's right.
Here in Philly, like the running back is a great compliment for that quarterback. I have 5 on the show every Monday with 5. And I've never heard a quarterback talk so much about the importance of the running back and having the running back. Most quarterbacks want to throw the ball. Donovan is always talking about running the football, play action game, how that helps his game out. So I look at the top running backs in the league, and look at the quarterback play on those teams. That shows you what that running game does for the quarterback. To me, it's not a negative. It's great complementary football.
Oh, I'm not saying that it's a negative. I just think that the more things, the more they try to change things, the more things stay the same.
Yeah,
blocking and tackling.
Especially when you're talking about. See, this is my perspective on the running back position. Okay, all of a sudden became a quarterback-driven league. It's a passing league. Okay, so if you're gonna start paying these quarterbacks $40, $50, $60 million, okay, then that means you're gonna have to start paying these wide receivers $25, $30 million.
Right.
Okay, that don't leave you much money on the back end. Now, what I'm seeing with Saquon is something that I never believed that I would ever see in Philadelphia again, because their mindset is throw the ball early, get a lead, run the ball late in your 4 minute offense, and run the clock out. And they really tried to stay away from it the first 4 games of the season. It wasn't until the big linemen went in and said, hey, we got this beast back here. We need to ride.
Feed the beast.
And Ike, you're 100% correct, because I've been saying this for years. There's only a handful of quarterbacks that can operate the way that they're talking about operating, throwing the ball 40, 50 times and then running at the end. There's only a handful of them. The running back is a quarterback's best friend. A running game is a quarterback. 5 is talking about it now because he's been out of the game so long, that he can reminisce about, man, I could have did this, and this, if Andy would have just ran the damn ball like everybody was crying for him to do. You understand what I'm saying? And
but you know what they do. You know what they do. Wherever the success is, then that's what teams try to follow. Like if I'm successful because I have the greatest show on turf and we're going 11 personnel, we're throwing the ball all over the park, then that's what other teams are going to try and do. And then now you're seeing a different style of football. That's what other teams are going to try and do, because that's what winning is.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, you can minimize games, and I'm always watching the amount of possessions that a football team has in a game. And when the Eagles get up around 10 possessions, I start to worry, man. I don't like that. I mean, when they're running the ball effectively, you're right there around 8 possessions a game. That means you got 4 possessions in the first half, 4 in the second half. You got a couple of 10-play, 11-play, 12-play drives, like when they played against, when they closed out against Pittsburgh and let them. 21 plays? I was like 21 plays for 88 yards, game, set, match. You don't even get to touch the ball again until practice next week. I'm like, my goodness, But these teams have got to realize that when you don't have a quarterback, like you said, like Patrick Mahomes, or a quarterback like Joe Burrow, that you can't survive like that. You're not going to win like that. You know, and a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, he going to win all the damn Super Bowls if you don't adjust to how you fight and minimize how many possessions you give him in the game, because the more possessions he has, it's the same exact thing last night with with the San Francisco Lions game. Too many damn possessions, man. I mean, they were scoring so fast.
Yeah.
And then Kyle Shanahan rather, he got away from running the football later in the game. Okay? They were running the ball. The run allowed them to have some really dynamic play action passes. Okay? Had a lead, they got in the second half, and all of a sudden, there was a time where Brock Purdy threw the ball 10 times in a row. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
You done blew
good.
2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
You done blew 2 Super Bowls doing this, and you're doing it again right before our eyes. What did you not learn? Okay? You got to shorten the game against these really good quarterbacks, and like I said, the running back is always going to be the quarterback's best friend.
Best friend.
Always.
Yes, sir.
Always. Speaking about the quarterback, let's talk about Donovan. Not Donovan, but Jalen. I know where Mike sits. This is my position. And I'll Mike, you can retort at the end. I don't want my quarterback sitting out 3 weeks before he goes into a playoff game, because the intensity rises from preseason to regular season, from regular season to playoffs. And with him not playing for 3 weeks, I don't want to see him struggle through the first quarter of this game, trying to find his timing, trying to find his rhythm, and trying to find his accuracy. Yeah, it always looks good in practice. But when them guys on the other side, when them X's over there on the other side start moving and breathing and lining up where you don't account for them, and start doing things that you don't account for, it's a whole different ball of wax. I want him to just get that feel. I don't care if he just plays a quarter. I want him in this game on Sunday. If he passes protocol, I just want him to get that taste in his mouth before we go marching into the playoffs.
Man, I've been going back and forth on this one. I've been going back and forth on this one. Man, I'm like, my initial instinct was, yeah, I don't want my quarterback sitting out 3 weeks, right? Like, I want him to get some action in. But then I'm like, only if we're gonna play everybody, right? Like, I don't want to put him out there because I don't.
You ain't putting him out there with no backups.
So,
You ain't putting him out there with no backups.
No, here's the thing.
Wait a minute.
I want him
Wait a
to
minute.
hand
So
the ball off. That's all
wait
I
a
want him
minute.
to do.
Wait a minute. There's a method to my madness, okay? There's a method to my madness. You ain't putting number 1 out there unless he got his offensive lineman.
Oh yeah,
Gotta go. Everybody.
Okay, so if you're gonna put number 1 and the number 1 offensive line out there, you might as well go and put 26 out there.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And listen, and if he just hand the ball off every play, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Here's my thing, Seth. He went down, and this concussion thing is so tricky. He wasn't ready to go the next week. He's still in the protocol right now. If he was healthy, I'd be like, yeah, play. If he wasn't coming off of this, I'd say go ahead and play. If he's coming off of this concussion, I feel less comfortable playing him than I do Saquon. Because Saquon is healthy. He's been a monster. They've been playing. I feel less comfortable with Jalen, if I'm being honest. I feel less comfortable with Jalen playing.
Okay. Hugh?
I want him to play. I'm with you on this one. I'm of the mindset, because that rest versus rust thing, man, is weird, and especially at that quarterback spot. Because we've been in situations where quarterback we've been talking about on the periphery, Donovan, he comes out and he's a little rusty. Defense is a little rusty. So I like rest versus rust, man. I wouldn't mind seeing him play for a quarter or two just to get him acclimated. And to your point, a quarter or two. Listen. And just like Seth said, hell, if he out there, damn it, everybody else out there too. If we go, we all go. If he go, we all go. That's how I kind of look at it, man. I kind of look at it like this. Say, for instance, if Doc was going for a record if in our era,
Sure.
shit, I'm on the field. Like, there is no matter how I felt, if Doc's out there, then damn it, I'm out there too. Because I want to be a part of whatever it is he's a part of.
I'm just telling you, I was hoping y'all motherfuckers was sitting out because I wanted to play.
You know you was gonna be out there too at some point. I mean, hey man, that's just how I look at it. Because this is one of those things, just like we all played in different eras, but we walked together because we did the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're gonna walk together. If this happens Sunday, regardless of whatever else happens this season, they're gonna walk together forever.
True.
You know what I mean? And I think that's the most important thing, man, because, you know, not to get all sentimental on y'all.
Listen, that's why the offensive linemen want it. They want it. The O-line want it.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, they're not going to talk about the offensive line. They're not talking about Eric Dickerson's offensive line. They're talking about Eric Dickerson set the record and ran for 2,000 miles. They never.
But that was a different. Like, Eric
Dickerson
he seemed like a little bit of a hater though now, since he coming out talking back about Saquon. Just a little bit.
Dick said he wanted his 12-year-old son to win. I mean,
quick. Listen, we live in a different era now. Okay.
True.
Back then, they didn't have no social media and the internet and all of that, so you didn't know who they were. I don't really give a damn about how everybody else around the country talks about it. But what I do know is that if he breaks that record, everybody in Philadelphia for all of eternity will remember Lane Johnson, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, Mekhi Becton, and Jordan Mailata. They will talk about them when they say Saquon Barkley's name. Those 5 names and the other guys that back them up will come into focus as well.
I think that is already established that Saquon's going over 2,000 yards, and that offensive line, I think it's already established that they will be talked about for a long, long time because they were the guys that paved the way. But yes,
you know what, man? Dick need to stop hating, man. You know, you know why I want Saquon to break the record. I want to break the record so when I see Dick in the offseason, I can give him shit about it. I'm like, Dick, I'm gonna tell him right to his man, you such a damn. Listen, man. I'm gonna be like, you such a damn hater. Then you gonna bring up that he got 17 games. Fool. OJ only had 14. Nobody was talking about that then.
Right there. Like, with all due respect, when I hear motherfuckers that say that shit, man, I be like, seriously, dog? You play as many games as you're supposed to play. Like, and then you talk about respect for the game. Like, you talking from the periphery. Like, we've been in that, because, like, I still remember the stories that Harold used to tell us. I remember when he talked about how they were scared to go get treatment. That's some real shit right there, because you thought you were going to get cut. If you were hurt, you were going to get cut.
Right.
That's some real shit. So when I hear somebody say, well, it's not the same thing. Dude, you don't know what the same thing is because you ain't been a part of it. You just talking about something you heard somebody else. Yeah, you talking about some shit you heard somebody else say. Yeah. I got it straight from the horse's mouth when he used to sit there and say, hey, y'all got it way different than us. Because I remember when we did 3-a-days. I remember he told me that story one day. And we were in 2-a-days. He said, we did like this every day. And you know what I did? I sucked that shit up. And said, hey, it ain't as bad as it is. It ain't as bad as it was. Like, for real. So, you know, it's just one of those things, man. You gotta respect it.
Yep.
All right, Q, before we move on, have we swayed you over to Jalen playing on Sunday?
I tell you what, I would love – listen, I worry about the rush a little bit too. So I kind of like a quarter, just hand it off every time.
Okay, I'll take that.
Hey, listen, man. And listen, I will tell you this. This show right here ain't like WIP. We ain't going to beat your ass up if you don't agree with us, okay?
No, trust me. I would love to see him because I do worry about it. He didn't, the game 2 weeks ago, he played just a few plays. The first series of plays. Yeah. So that's almost a whole game that he missed. Then he missed.
Yeah, he basically missed the whole game.
And more than likely he's going to miss this weekend. That's a lot of time off. And that would scare me a little bit. So, yeah, I would love to see him play just a little bit, but just hand it off.
And I'm telling you, This ain't like 2022. This ain't Daniel Jones coming in here
No.
and Brock Purdy. Like, we may have to start off with either Jaden Daniels or
Yes.
Jordan Love in the past.
Yes.
So,
That's the other thing.
So, yeah, so
All right.
That's why I said I've been going back and forth on it because quite frankly, that first game is going to be a difficult game. That's going to be a real difficult game.
That's going to be a hard game.
Hey, listen, man. That's just how good the NFC is. Man.
Yeah.
The Eagles are going to face. If they get to the Super Bowl, they're going to face a team that has a minimum of 12 wins
12 to
in
13.
in all three phases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the time, the number 2 seed would probably get a 9-7, a 9-18,
Yeah.
a
What the Lions
10
have?
and 17.
The Lions have 14 wins now.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got the Wow.
Minnesota has 14.
Minnesota, Green Bay.
Eagles got 13
right now too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Minnesota is scary high. Now, okay, so that being said, we probably going to wind up either playing Green Bay or Washington.
Right.
Which one would y'all rather face?
Oh, Washington. I know.
You said that fast.
Yeah, because you know what?
Hey, you said that fast.
Like, listen, I'm telling my old ass man now because I'm thinking about all that shit they were talking after the game and all that other shit. That's the reason why I want to see. I want to see them because
you got revenge. You got revenge on your mind, Hugh.
Yeah, a little
Me
bit.
too.
A little bit.
I'm with you.
Put it there. You know what? I'm gonna tell you this. Both are good teams, but I'm right now. Jaden Daniels got the juice. Jordan Love to me throws off his back foot way too much for me. Like I think he has a very good arm, above average arm, and I think he has way too much confidence in his arm. Hold on. Hold on. That's what I want to play.
Listen,
I want to play Green Bay instead of Washington because I think I like our defense against that Green Bay receiving core.
Yep.
Josh Jacobs is going to be difficult, but if it comes down to Jordan Love having to throw the ball, I like our defense against Jordan Love. James can beat you with his legs too, man.
Yeah. That I think they underestimated him. Like last week, I think they forgot how fast he really was, man. I really do.
And it's something about that dude right now, man. He hot right now.
Let me tell you this. I think we'll have a better chance against Green Bay. But if you guys had been in the seat where I was when we were down in Washington and they won that game, and you see the celebration, you see the way these people, I thought they won the Super Bowl.
No, yeah. And then Buddy proposed to his wife the other day and all that good stuff.
After they beat the Eagles, I had never seen a celebration like that in
I'm
ever.
I'm petty. Yeah, I want to take off that.
Mike sound like Mike want revenge.
That ticked me off. So I'm with you. I want revenge.
Well, I tell you what. I'm shocked at you, man. I'm really shocked because I'm thinking logically. Okay. I'm thinking about it from a defensive minded perspective. Okay.
You rather face Washington's offense?
Listen, and this is why.
Okay.
The first time they played Jaden Daniels, he had the rib injury. They had him on a leash. So I think that they were shocked and caught off guard by how quick and how elusive and how fast he really was. They was like reaching for him like, oh shit, he gone.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now that they've seen that speed, and with a coach like Vic Fangio, they're going to have something for them because they can't run the ball. They cannot run the football.
They're one-dimensional in that aspect.
And we was giving them the work until they knocked Jalen out of the game.
Yep.
I mean, we was running away with that game.
Yeah.
Listen, Scary Terry started to look like he was getting loose.
Hey, dog, yeah, he did look good, but hell, you got to play him a little different. Like, you know what I mean? You just got to do things a little different.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I tell you what the issue was.
I'm more concerned with Jaden Daniels than I am Jordan Love.
I tell you,
it's rightfully so.
Talking about the young buck, this is what I saw out of him the last 2 weeks. His technique has always been flawless. But a couple of times Vic they ran a route on him.
Oh, Quinyon.
Quinyon.
Yeah.
Quinyon. So Quick, they ran a route on him, and he was in phase the right way. He thought it was a go route, and the guy ran a stop route on him and got him turned around. And that messed his head up, okay? The next time, he gets the touchdown in the end zone, and instead of him getting him phased the proper way, he face guarded the guy. Now, I ain't seen him face guard anybody all season long.
Yeah, I saw
So
that.
I'm like, he is just all messed up in his head. All he got to do is get back to his technique and get back to his confidence. I ain't worried about no Scary Terry. I really ain't. I'm more worried about Scary Terry over there on Slay's side than I am him messing around with Quinion.
Yeah, I feel you there. And I got no concern about Quinion. It's almost expected. One guy's a rookie, the other guy's a 5-year vet. So you had to know he was going to come back with something different the next time.
Yeah, at some point.
Quinion Mitchell. So I wasn't too surprised by that. I just, and we also, whatchamacallit, didn't we, Slay had a pretty good game, but he gave up the one deep ball. He gave
one deep
He been balling lately, man.
He gave up one deep ball.
Slay's playing good ball. And
now we'll just get hurt every damn other
I
play.
don't face Josh Jacobs.
We're not giving Slay enough respect, Seth, for the way he's coming up and tackling. The past 4 or 5 games, that dude coming off the edge makes it stop. Now, Seth, you used to get on him about that. But
listen, man, that's the way he got to play. He can't be out there acting like he's scared to tackle somebody, man. Come on, man. You can't do that. Not when you got a C on your chest. Now, if you ain't got no C on your chest, you might be able to get away with that. But when you got the C on the chest and you got all these young bucks behind you, they watching everything you do. You got to set the example, even when you don't want to. You know what I'm saying? You got to do that.
But he's been doing it this year.
But he's been doing it.
Yeah, he's been doing it.
He been going out every other play, but he been getting it done though.
Yeah, look at you, man.
We got to call him for what it is now. But he is doing his thing though.
Yeah.
Motherfucker can't stay on the field the whole 3 plays now.
I tell you what, when I look at that secondary, I think the key player in that secondary is Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I really believe that he's
the playmaker.
CJ balling right now.
He's the playmaker. So you're talking about the NFC's Defensive Player of the Week.
Yeah.
And Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah.
You know, he gets the pick 6. He gets another one later, and the pick 6 got everything going.
Hold on, man. He stole Q's interception.
He stole Q's interception.
Hey, dog, you saw that?
He didn't.
But Q tried to play it off.
To.
He played it off. He was like, "Go ahead, homeboy, you got it."
Listen, man, he ain't steal it, man. Listen, that's why if you look at Q was standing there waiting for the ball to come to him. Man, you don't do that on defense, man.
Yeah.
You better go get that damn ball. If you want it, you better go get it.
Hey,
He's standing there waiting for it. CJ just stepped in front of him.
You know what the fucked up part about it is? That's the closest he been to one all year. That's the fucked up part about it.
He go. I'm sure in his mind he was like, "This motherfucker done got me again."
Oh yeah, he definitely said it, but just like that, he had to turn it off because he's like, "Man, that's my teammate."
He is. Like, you have to have playmakers, and CJ is a playmaker. Yeah. Like it's great to be in position all the time and do the right thing, but you got to have playmakers, guys that get it turned over for the offense, and guys that make plays, make like difference makers. CJ Gardner-Johnson, he's a difference maker.
Yeah.
Hey, Q,
Q,
we forget that dude had 6 interceptions the year they went to the Super Bowl.
True.
He only played about 10 games.
Don't he got 6 now? I think he got 6 now.
He a ball hawk. Oh, he had like 6 in Detroit, didn't he? He had a few in Detroit.
No, he was hurt most of the year.
He was hurt all year
that's
in Detroit.
He was hurt. Okay, my bad.
I didn't know he got 6 this year. Okay.
I tell you what, though, I was pissed off at him when he got kicked out of the game.
Oh yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I was pissed off at him.
Yeah.
But the fact that he chatters the way that he chatters, there's this constant communication that's going on the back end that ain't there when he was out of the game. And that's what really hurt them more than anything else. Not the making ability, but the communication. Because a lot of times I was looking at those guys and they looking around at each other like they didn't know what the hell was going on. Even on the touchdown pass for Washington to win the game, there was a mass confusion back.
So that's a real good point, but it's I'll take it a step further. All that's true, but the energy that he brings with that. Yeah. So he brings an energy that is not there when he's not on the field. And the way these guys fly to the ball, even if they're not, they get there late, or he's on the way down, a guy's on the way down making a tackle, CJ's getting in there because he flies to the football. And his energy, I think, is something that's contagious.
I agree.
Wow.
I agree.
Wow. Let's go back to the quarterback for 1 second, because I kind of get the eerie feeling that Jalen might not play, even though we all want him to get a little bit.
Yeah.
Provided Kenny Pickett is able to go.
Hell, he ain't gonna play either.
Well, I'm just saying, who do you prefer? You prefer him or Tanner McKee?
Tanner McKee for me.
Tanner McKee can sling it.
Oh my God,
That was pretty impressive for the 4 passes that he threw. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah. And he's a big, tall kid, standing in the pocket, and can see over everything, and he can sling the ball.
Man, listen. Hey, listen, Q, you be out there sometimes. They say Tanner McKee be carving up the defense, man.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can.
He be out there carving up the first team defense.
Hey, listen, man. I've been saying it for the last 2 years. He is the best thrower of the football of all the quarterbacks on the roster. I mean, he throws it with timing. He throws it with rhythm. He makes quick reads, especially when you got him in there with a good line. I mean, in preseason, he up in there with some guys, is going to be working at Wawa, in a couple of weeks, So he's struggling. But you put him behind a good line, man, that kid can flat out swing.
Working at Wawa. That's the realest shit I heard all night.
It's the truth, man. Listen, when you got a quarterback, when you got a quarterback,
I need to stop at the Wawa later on.
Yeah, Wawa ain't
close, man. I don't care what it is.
You might have to go across the bridge now to get to a Wawa.
I'm
all
going
the ones
across
in the
the bridge.
city, they close up at 11.
Oh, that's right. You up there in Delaware. Yeah,
I'm in Delaware. Hold up, dog. It's thunder and lightning outside. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah. It's bad outside right now.
Wow.
On the New Year's?
Hey, listen, we got pajamas on, man. We ain't going nowhere.
Hey, yeah,
I'm going nowhere.
I ain't leaving this house.
Hey, listen, man. You know that's when you get old, and that's why I called y'all to come on tonight. I'm like them old bastards ain't going nowhere tonight, just like me. I'm gonna have a.
Cause I'm supposed to be good drunk right about now.
Somebody was hot about that phone call. Boy.
I said, why the fuck Seth called me on New Year's about that?
I know you ain't going
by 2:30.
Cause I know you ain't going nowhere. If you ain't sleep by 12, you're gonna be just like me. Sitting on you're gonna be just like me, sitting on the couch watching Netflix and toasting the wife, Merry Happy New Year, take your ass on the bed.
You'll be stuck.
Yeah, I was on my way.
2 hours.
Yeah, I was on my way. I was damn sure on my way. But I held it off. I'm gonna get drunk after we get off this Zoom call though. We get fucked up.
Man, I'm gonna let y'all go on that one. Good Lord. My brothers, listen, happy and a prosperous and a healthy new year.
Oh, look at
y'all,
like it's already started.
Yeah.
Can't y'all tell by that chair Mike sitting there? He already started.
Yeah,
I can tell you what he's drinking.
No, hey,
Don Julio neat.
Hey, listen. If I knew we were allowed to cuss, I probably would have started earlier. But I didn't know what the format was.
It's all. Hey, listen. It's all good. We on YouTube, man. You can say whatever you want to say.
I didn't know. I just, what I'm saying, because I be getting on me about some of the shit that be coming from my mouth.
It ain't starting. You've been flowing all night.
Hey, stay on it, would you?
Got to.
Man, you see all that gray in his beard? You ain't changing that, man.
Hey, no, it's yeah. No, I be dying his shit though. He don't think nobody know. He be dying his shit though, man. I be dying his shit though. He be dying his beard, man.
No.
You on that just for men, I
Nope. Not at all, man.
All right, man. Hey, listen, y'all have a good New Year's, man.
You as well, brother. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year
to all y'all, man.
You got it, man.
I'll see y'all
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
It's happening again.
All right, y'all. That's the show for tonight. We're going to check on out of here as soon as everybody click off. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. There we go. We gonna check out for tonight. I know you guys got some New Year's stuff going on. Listen, I appreciate you guys. The numbers were fantastic tonight, as always. Just a quick note: we got a Brandon Graham jersey we're giving away. Check my social media tomorrow. How to enter and how to be able to get to that jersey will be in the comments tomorrow. We'll put it up and we'll give it away in the post game live Sunday after the Giants game. All right. Happy 2025. You guys be safe out there. And as always, take care of each other, but be good to each other. But most importantly, can we just love each other in 2025? All right? Peace.
It's happening again. Those missed tackles are starting to stack up. Your friends pleading with players who can't hear them. Sweating it out week after week. But not you. Why? Because whether they score or not, there's always another way to win on the BetParx app. New casino users score up to $1,000 bonus back in their first 24 hours.
At Pawnlee Hockey, we're neither a pawn nor a hockey team. In fact, I don't even know how to skate.
Cut.
We're the injury law firm that you want fighting for you.
With our vast network of attorneys across the country, we know the playbook on injury law.
It's how Pawnlee Hockey recovered billions of dollars for more than 100,000 injured and disabled workers.
And we know we can do the same for you.
So give Pawnlee Hockey a call. No other law firm will fight harder for you.
And you'll never pay a dime until we win.
It's the most wonderful time with the kids jingle. Be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful.
Whether your phone's broken or old, we've got you. With Verizon, anyone can trade in any phone, any condition. And get iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. And iPad and Apple Watch Series 10, all three on us. That's up to $2,000 in value, only on Verizon.
Hello?
Since 1893, Weber Display and Packaging has been Pennsylvania's leading manufacturer of corrugated packaging and displays. We're family owned with 4 Philadelphia locations, 2 converting facilities, a warehouse, and a fulfillment center. Designed through delivery, we exceed customer needs. Weber Display and Packaging. Our core values drive everything we do. Come join our
Get peace of mind, drive certified at DavisCertified.com.
How do you make sure your next vehicle purchase is a quality vehicle priced right? Go to DavisCertified.com.
Every Davis certified pre-owned vehicle has a 60-day, 2,000-mile powertrain warranty, plus 2 years of free oil changes, a 3-day exchange policy, and a free Carfax report.
Get peace of mind, drive certified at DavisCertified.com.
Gentlemen, are you ready for a wardrobe update? Introducing Divine Nine's Custom Menswear, your clothier for truly unique, custom-made threads. With Divine Nine, you can design your own one-of-a-kind suit, jacket, slacks, shirts, golf pants, and shorts, perfectly handcrafted by our skilled artisans who will bring your vision to life. Prepare to stand out from the crowd with Divine Nine's Custom Clothier, official clothier of Seth Joyner. Custom clothing made for you.
Pride, passion, and persistence. These are the values that drive us all at Ron Jaworski Golf. We strive to deliver outstanding conditions as well as playability for golfers of all ages and abilities. Our championship golf courses offer a variety of challenges from a link-style walk along the river to an escape into the pines and everything in between. My team at Ron Jaworski Golf is committed to delivering memorable experiences every single day. See all we do at RonJaworskiGolf.com.
It's the most wonderful time with the kids jingle. Be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful.
Whether your phone's broken or old, we've got you. With Verizon, anyone can trade in any phone, any condition. And get iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. And iPad and Apple Watch Series 10, all three on us. That's up to $2,000 in value, only on Verizon.
Hello?
This is Parks. Parks, Pennsylvania's #1 casino experience. This is how you win.